Hello, Pip Smoker. Suddenly, all my problems are... I have no problems in life. Are we in the basement? No. What makes you think that? I did have a flat down in First Avenue. Oh, it's a candle. Oh, it's a candle flickering at night. What could it handle? Feeling alright. Yes, I live by my candles. I do love a scented candle. It's, I swear by them. It's a funny old saying, isn't it? Swear by them. I don't swear by them, and nor do I swear at them. But I do enjoy a nice scented candle. A lot of ums tonight, because I don't particularly do it up the bum. Never have, really. Sodomy, not really into it. But I do enjoy a scented candle every evening. In fact, there isn't an evening that goes by without a scented candle. This is quite deceiving because the candle is by its side, which is quite enjoyable. Now, it's one of those nights, you know, I had some tandoori chicken today, and I can still feel it in my midriff, if you get my drift. I can feel it in my midriff, if you get my drift. No, I was thinking just earlier, about an hour ago, how I used to, as a teenager, listen to albums before I go to bed. I used to listen to Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen, Tango in the Night by Fleetwood Mac, Dire Straits. So what's your excuse for being up so late? A lot of people think you are Grobnob, Pip Smoker. Talking about Grobnob, I haven't heard from him for a while, and I know he has mental health issues, and I worry about Grobnob. Sleeping is fed up. Sleeping is fucked up. Yeah, so I was contemplating sending an email to Grobby, just seeing how he is, seeing how his mental health is. But then I thought, well, I haven't actually got his email, but it's something like grobnob75@gmail, something like that, as I remember. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen, all those blagathons even, blagging money out of his audience for one thing or another. I'm not him, but if I was, I'd be open and honest. Well, that's a bit of an oxymoron, because how can you be open and honest if you hide your identity? I mean, if ever I was to do YouTube again, I most probably not hide my identity. I most probably have done it so everyone knows my name. And of course that reminds me of the intro to Cheers. Remember that? Where everyone knows your name. And I was fortunate enough to go to that bar in Boston, the old Cheers bar. I just remember the merchant shop. but negative. I'm not him. But if I was, I'd be open and honest. No, I'm glad how things have gone on YouTube. It's been one hell of a story. Yeah, it will make a great book. I reckon Netflix would buy my story. Definitely. Oh, everyone's gone. Okay, goodbye. Then we'll go. Then we'll think, oh fuck this. I'm not listening to Matt Taylor. I'm going to sleep. Funny thing going live, though, isn't it? What does it say about yourself? That you're so sad and desperate for attention that you have to go live. Well, what does going live actually mean? It just means you're opening a window into your life so that other people can peer into. So really, going live is the ultimate narcissistic expression of oneself. You're basically saying, look at me, I'm worthy to be looked at. But of course there's, again, that oxymoron word, I don't really know what it means really. But that contradiction, when you say, look at me, I'm worthy to be looked at, but yet you don't show yourself. I was just discussing the motivation and the justification of going live. It is actually quite a narcissistic thing to do, isn't it? Because essentially you're opening a window onto yourself. You done any more hikes? Yeah, I did. I went on a lovely hike today, actually. I went on a hike today. Hour-and-a-half hike. It's like therapy, yes. So, I haven't actually checked with my daughter, but I think she may have her mountaineering leadership qualification where she can take people on hikes now. But yeah, I do love a good hike. And this is something, because I was hiking today and I was up on the hills and I just looked at the scenery, and for me, it's seeing God. And I actually, whenever I do feel those magic moments of looking at the horizon and seeing the beauty of the landscape around me, I often equate that to being in the presence of God. And of course I gave my thanks and praise to the to God and the universe today for being able to experience the beauty. And it got me thinking about believing in God as a choice, because Lewis, he's 15 going on 16, and he hasn't decided whether he believes in God yet. And what I want to say to him the next time I see him is that believing in God is a choice. You either choose to believe or choose not to, and whether that's right or wrong is a personal factor. But having chosen to believe in God, when I take in the beauty of life around me, I give praise to God. Whereas someone who chooses not to believe in God would equally look at the landscape around him and appreciate the beauty, but yet just shrug it off as evolution, as geography. But that's something, I'm going on a journey as well, because I say I talk to God, but whereas Lewis, he says he wants to hear an external voice, and only then will he believe that there's a God. If he hears an external voice, whereas I believe I'm talking to God because I hear the same internal voice. And I'm fascinated by it, because I say to him, perhaps I am just talking to myself, and I've mistaken my own inner voice as God's voice. And there's no one who's right or wrong. But yeah, it's I'm loving life. It's a fascinating experience, and I love the ups and downs, and I love the drama, and I love the technology we have available, and I love the fact that I'm communicating with Pip Smoker, whoever Pip Smoker may be. I think it's fascinating, and I'm so grateful that I'm living in this time and space and age in which we have this technology to make it viable to open up windows and invite people from the other side of the world, possibly, to come in and say hi. It's a fascinating opportunity, unlike any other time in human history. And talking about opportunities in human history, I've been thinking today about the importance of uncovering the cover-ups, because we really have to know the truth of what's happening in our world today before humanity has any hope of evolving. And I think it's odds-on favourite that we do live in a world system of which the truth is covered up by parties of interest. There are parties of interest who tell us lies to protect themselves and their own. Yeah, I mean, Pip Smoker says facts. And this is something, ties into my mother, because her philosophy in life was that there is no truth, there are only facts and lies. And that's always fascinated me. And as time's gone on, I like to think I've understood that now, because Everyone has got their own truth. Oh, hello, Jake. Good, welcome, sir. I was just talking about facts and lies here, you know. There is no truth. There is only facts and lies. Everyone's got their own truth. But yet, truth means nothing because it's subjective. Essentially, there are only facts of the matter and lies. And what is a fact? I was taught a fact is something that you can experience with your five senses. That's how they taught a fact in the military police. If there's something you can look at, hear, taste, feel and touch, and somebody else can look at, feel, hear, taste and touch, and it tallies up with what you can feel, hear, taste and touch, then it is a fact. And a lie, we all know what a lie is. Something that isn't a fact. But yeah, I mean, it is mind-blowing, isn't it? The world around us, life. It's a mind-blowing experience of contradictions, of opportunities, of pleasures. And I just feel so grateful. Yes, Pip is a lie. I mean, I can go along with that. Lies need the biggest hugs. In a way, I mean, Pip Smoker is a cover-up, isn't it? And I was just discussing that, Jake. For humanity to evolve, we need to uncover the cover-ups. But it can be argued Pip Smoker is a cover-up because Pip Smoker is covering his identity, is covering his real name. And of course, we're all given names. They usually come in sets of three: a first name, middle name, and last name. My name is Matthew Daniel Taylor. So I can say my name without hesitation, and there is no cover-up involved in my name because my name is Matthew Daniel Taylor. That's a fact. Other people can bear witness to the fact that my name is Matthew Daniel Taylor, but yet Pip Smoker is covering up his name. And so, yeah, it can be argued, I'm with Jake there, that Pip Smoker is his adoptive name. So is it a lie just yet? If Pip Smoker is saying his name, his real name is Pip Smoker, then that would be a lie. Definitely. Oh, my name is Aaron Owen now. Aaron Owen, I know that's a lie because you've been here before. That's a lie. You've adopted somebody else's name. So I'm calling out Aaron Owen as a liar. Definitely he, I suppose. Yeah, you, Jake. When he says Jupes owns me, that is a lie. Yes, there you go. But also, isn't there a scope in which opinions can be mistaken for lies? By saying Jupes owns you, is that not his opinion? He's not declaring it as a fact. And of course, again, from going back to my military police training, opinions aren't allowed in a court of law. When he says Jukes owns me, that is a lie. Perhaps it is his opinion. Role playing, I'm sure. Yes. Yeah. That's an interesting pastime, isn't it? Role playing. I'm not impressed with Jukes. I've not subscribed. The one person I'm impressed with most at the moment are my children. I'm impressed with my children. I'm impressed with you, Jake. And I hope that isn't for legal reasons and an illustration of my cowardice. I hope when I'm saying I'm impressed with you, that doesn't mean I'm in any way encouraging what you do because for legal reasons and for cowardice reasons, I cannot be seen to encourage Jake to do anything. But I am impressed with Jake. Out of all the players on YouTube, I'm more impressed with Jake than most. She's going to have lots to answer for very soon now. I mean, and I go along with that, how you warn people that they're going to be in big trouble. And again, for legal reasons, I'm not encouraging anything. Jake does what he wants to do. But I do actually go along with that mindset and that thinking that there's a lot of people who are going to regret the stance they've taken. And and I'd rather not be you when that comes, because we're all going to be judged. We're all going to be judged on on our conduct. And just now before going live, I was laying in bed and I spoke to God because I choose to believe in God. And I said to God, thank you for the life you are giving me, and please bestow upon me everything that I deserve. And we are going to be bestowed upon us everything that we deserve. And for those people who have barked up the wrong tree, you will get what you deserve for doing so. This is understandable, and thank you, brother. Well, it's not understandable. Okay, it's understandable, but it's not forgivable, because God is going to determine what I deserve for remaining quiet. Because the only reason I am remaining quiet and remaining compliant is because I don't want to lose my home. That's my fear, which I'm allowing to control my life. The only reason I'm not speaking and saying what I want to say is because I fear losing my home. And what I mean by losing my home is I'm not scared of being dragged away and locked up in a room. It's losing my home. That's what I'm scared of. Inner standing, may become a newly acknowledged word. I like it. Inner standing. Under, inner, above, below. Yeah, and it's great. And I think it's important that new philosophies, new thinking is introduced into our lives. And that's what I'm actually impressed with Jake and Kaylee, because they do introduce new ways of thinking, new concepts, new ideas and new solutions. And I think that's, of course, that's integral to progression and development. Because at the moment, we're just treading water. We're living in a paradigm in which the truth is covered up. And if there's anyone who doesn't believe that's true, or if there's anyone who doesn't believe that's a fact, then you are sadly and regrettably mistaken. Different levels of conscious and unconscious, or different levels of consciousness and unconsciousness, ability subjectively, responsibility, ability to respond. Yeah. And we can take that down a notch, because the inability not to present yourself in a factual context is quite damning. And what I mean by that is by someone who's not prepared to reveal their own identity. That's damning in itself. And I always go back to the maxim that if you're not prepared to present yourself in your God-given name, then you're hiding yourself. And the question then has to be asked, well, what are you hiding? Well, you're hiding the facts of your life, because every person's initial fact is their name. And of course, we all know so much about each other from our names. And the fact that people aren't prepared to tell us their names is an indication that they're hiding, that they're covering up something. And it's usually their crimes. And that's my experience. That will be the question, hey? Yes, that would be the question. And there's so many questions out there. Life is one big question. But how I get it, I don't question anything now. I just enjoy every moment that life is bestowing upon me. Because I was thinking just now, back when I was a teenager, 52 Trafalgar Road, I could never have imagined that age 54, I'd be living in a house by myself with all the trappings of luxury around me. Yeah, it's disappointing that I'm in bed by myself. But what is the silver lining is that I'm going up to see my girlfriend for the Valentine weekend. That I've got 2 wonderful children in my life. That I've still got a great relationship with my sister. That I'm being creative. I'm doing what I love doing, and that is being creative. And so, everything is still there. And let's read what Jake says. In this field of work, absolutely. Oh, yes. Have I told you I've been contacted by a lot of AI companies asking me to use their software? And I just saw today there's been an email sent to me from a AI company, and it's been in my spam box since the 18th of January. and they're offering me their platform free of charge to make my AI programs. And it was such a wonderful message, because the message started off with, we've been watching your work for quite some time, and we really enjoy what you do, and we'd like to offer our platform free of charge for you to showcase your skills and to see, and to use our product. And I love that, really. Sweet. Spread the truth, love, light, dark. Yeah. But you see, I think when I was a teenager, in that back room in 52 Trafalgar Road, listening to albums while I went to bed, I didn't think this far ahead. I really didn't think this far ahead. It was like an unattainable dream that I would marry and have kids. I didn't even think that would happen. And ultimately, I've never married. I mean, I'm from a single parent family, and marriage, that kind of nuclear family setting, never really rocked my boat anyway. I mean, I would like to marry my girlfriend only for a wedding day, only to experience what it would be like to be the center of the attention and have that wedding day. I mean, that's something I'm still open to. But of course, it's a bit naff that she's already been married. But anyway, it doesn't bother me if I don't get married, because what is marriage is a contract, isn't it? But for me, it's not about signing a contract. It's about having a great day and giving back something to my family, because I've been to so many weddings. Yes. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm all for a bit of marriage. And I'm still en route for fame and fortune. And that's something, I'd happily accept. Fame in the sense that recognition for my talents. Because, and this is something Kaylee has touched upon. Our story could break at any point, because we've all got great stories. So has Jake. Jake's got a great story, and even Pip Smoker's got a great story. We've all got great stories, and our stories can break at any point, at any moment. No comment. Laugh out loud. Small comment. Celebrated animal exploitation feasting. I know Jake says if, and I get what Jake is saying. I mean, if Jake could convert me to vegan lifestyle, then anyone can change. And I'm open to changing to a vegan lifestyle. And then, of course, that you can guarantee human evolution. And of course, I'd like to play my part in that. I'm addicted to meat. Oh, Pip Smoker. Well, addiction is a bad thing. And it's a shame we're addicted to anything. Because really, there is no addiction. It's just a choice. I mean, I'd love to choose not to eat meat. It's just that whenever I go to my girlfriend's, there's meat on the menu. I actually lead quite a vegetarian lifestyle at home. Mind you, I had chorizo sausage in my dinner today. And anyway, admittance is the first stage to recovery. There you go. You've got to admit you've got an addiction. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's terrible, isn't it, eating meat? God. Terrible. I had my first slim fast the other day. I had my first slim fast meal, and it works a treat, I tell you. It's like I had no food for lunch one day, just had some milk. So I shaked up a slim fast, sorted me out. Loved it. Yeah, but good on you, Jake, for, you know, leading the charge on being a vegan. I think it's all worthwhile. Carry on doing it. Because you are making people think, and you are changing. And you've even got Pip Smoker to make an admission that he's addicted to meat. Becoming aware of avoiding all animal tested products is a brilliant awareness shitter. Or shifter. Lewis is into his creatine at the moment. He's hitting the gym, but of course, you know, to hit the gym, he needs to have creatine, which I think is bullshit. Oh, well, what can he do? I hate that thing where someone said, I can only do something if I have something. Can't you just go ahead and do it? You know what I mean? Just go to the gym and work out. But Lewis says, yeah, well, but I need creatine. It's like, just fucking do it. Yeah, but I need creatine as well. It's like, fucking hell. So I took Lewis to his college interview yesterday. That's a massive milestone, isn't it? Eh? He'll be starting college. He'll be starting college this year, finishing school. Search plant-based athletes smashing it, yeah. Documentary called Game Changers. Yeah, I mean, that's something Chris Frawl talks about, isn't it? Lowering in your pH level into an alkaline state. And of course, that involves having supplements, green supplements. But have you also heard about the advanced games happening in Las Vegas in May? They're out in Abu Dhabi at the moment training, where they're getting performance enhancing drugs as we speak. And actually in training on these performance enhancing drugs, they're actually matching the world records. So come May, you can bet your bottom dollar that at this advanced games out in Las Vegas on performance and enhancing drugs, every world record is going to be smashed. So you haven't heard of the advanced games? Yeah, I mean, it's basically the Olympic Games on steroids. Yeah, but I'll look out for that. Plant-based athletes smashing it. But I'm a bit of a defeatist. I mean, Chris Paul's switch to veganism has been credited for his late career resurgence. The basketball player switched to a vegan diet in 2019 at the age of 34. Wow, lovely, copy and paste. Is that 34? Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to it. And like I said, good on you for leading the charge. Yeah, I say to my son, don't put me on a pedestal because I'm as flawed as the rest. I'm as flawed as the next man. But I'm a defeatist in the fact that I don't think certain things are going to change in the world, i.e. there's always going to be evil. There's always going to be meat eaters. There's always going to be murders. There's always going to be pain and suffering. And I'll be the first to put my hand up and say that's defeatist talk. Perhaps we can live in a world in which there's no pain, there's no evil, there's no murder, there's no meat eaters. And it's a choice, isn't it? It's a choice whether you want to believe or not. And like I said, I'm as flawed as the next man, if not more flawed than most. And I'm okay with being flawed. I don't seek perfection. I mean, of course, I endeavour to be the best version of myself. I endeavour to make the most of my day, make the most of the opportunities. Thank you, Jake. UK anti-doping, World Anti-Doping Agency, and World Athletics President Lord Coe have strongly criticised the event, calling it a clown show and moronic, and warning it undermines fair play and athletes' health. Yes, of course. There's a particular swimmer, forgotten his name now. He's doing it, knowing very well that he'll never compete in a clean tournament ever again. But his argument is that he's hit a ceiling. So he's dedicated his life to attaining a level of competence at swimming that he believes he can't go any further, in the sense that he can't make any more money out of it. He's hit a plateau of possibility. And he's quite open that he's participating in the advanced games because of the money. He says, I'm going to get a payday because I think there's a 25 million prize pot, so to speak. So a lot of people are going to be getting payouts that will set them up. That will be their retirement fund. But I think it was inevitable this was going to happen. It was inevitable that everything that possibly can happen will happen, because isn't that the makeup of the universe in which we live in? The universe is aware of itself, and it'll play out every possibility of its existence. Financial incentives, 250,000 per event. 1 million for breaking a world record. Yeah. And like I said, they're actually matching the world records now in Abu Dhabi, where they're training. Big up Jukes. And of course, all the performance enhancing drugs are being administered in hospital. I mean, I no doubt would tune in, because I've always wondered how fast a man can run the 100 meters on performance enhancing drugs. And of course, we know that when you are on performance enhancing drugs, you smash the rest of the field. And that happened in the Ben Johnson final, wasn't it? The Olympic final, 1988, was it, maybe? But what I didn't know was, in that race of Ben Johnson, Carl Lewis, 6 other people failed the drugs test in that race. So what, out of how many people ran in that race? 8 people or 10? 8 to 10 people ran in that 100-meter final in 1988, and 6 people failed the drugs test. And I think we were discussing this the last time I went live with Lenny. Shout out to Lenny. Lenny's a valued member of the audience. He pointed out that the 1988 Olympics was the most drug-fueled Olympics there's ever been. I could well believe it. So I was pretty shocked to learn that 6 other competitors in that 100-meter final also tested positive to performance enhancing drugs. But that's the point I was just making. Everything that could possibly be happens. Any possibility is played out. And that's also a reflection of the sickness in our life. That every sin is played out. Oh, big shout out to Justin. I have been listening from the start. I thought this was a repeat. Oh, Raj. Because I do the candles, don't I? This is my signature candle tune. And so at what point, Justin, did you realise that this was live? Mustn't talk too loud because it's so late. And the neighbours are asleep, and there's only a wall separating us. I wasn't looking at the chat. Oh, lovely. Yeah, so yeah, anything that could be will be. Oh, over to Jake. My guilt that I've had to continue working on forgiving is my narcotic abuse over the past 20-25 years. Wow. Behavioural change and funding trafficking and violence. We've had this conversation before, almost. Yeah, I mean, listen, the very fact that you feel guilt and remorse for your 20 to 25 years of drug abuse is a reflection that, what does that reflect? It reflects that you've got a heart. it reflects that you've got apathy, that you regret those years of abuse. I mean, it reminds me of a smoker that's quit. I mean, those are the most vocal about other people smoking, aren't they? The people who've smoked themselves for 25 years. Oh, it's a disgusting habit. Disgusting. And then they find out they were also smokers for 25 years. But look, it's a good sign. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a good sign that you feel such remorse, because it says a lot about you. Highlighting, humbling my pride and acceptance of human weakness in the experience. Yes. Yeah. And I'm not embarrassed about my flaws and failures. Fascinating stuff, Jake, buddy. And I don't think anyone should be embarrassed about their flaws and failures. You know, we're not Christ. The world is a flawed environment. So, of course, we are all products of our environment. And so, if we've got a flawed environment, it's inevitable that everyone would have flaws as a consequence of living in a flawed environment. Thanks, Justin. It's a bizarre world that we are born into. Absolutely, man. And let's just embrace the bizarreness. I mean, I was just going to say, let's not try and change it. But of course, we have to change it, because for so long, we've had the attitude of let's not bother changing it. But look where it's got us. But then again, let's not be so hard on ourselves, because we have been duped. There has been cover-ups. There has been a concerted effort to pull the wool over the world, so a select few of people can take all the resources for themselves and commit atrocities on an industrial scale and get away with it. So there are people to blame. There are people to be held to account, but it's not us. But we have a part to play in exposing these people and holding these people to account, because we do live in a world of cover-ups. And the only way we're going to evolve as a collective humanity is by uncovering the cover-ups. And we've all got a part to play in that. And of course, you know, Jake shows us there's even further to go. Yeah, you know what? Once we've uncovered the cover-ups, the job isn't done yet. To evolve, we have to stop eating meat, and that's fine. I'll go along with that. And so there's always something to do, and it's a continuing effort that we all have to play our part in. And so many born into these corrupted positions. Yeah. It's like you said, a bizarre world, and a very scary world as well. Listen, everyone, I'll be wrapping it up in 5 minutes' time. Thanks ever so much for joining me. And I hope we can get some sleep after this. We have the freedom to help. They are possessed by their compromised, imposed abuse. Yeah. I know it's terrible, isn't it? But ultimately, it's a choice. It's all a choice. We have choices that we make on a daily basis. I personally think a lot of choices should be forced. So if you are abused, you're actually obliged to report that abuse. Otherwise, you're aiding and abetting. So there's ways we can engineer ourselves, and of course, that's a common factor, engineering human behavior. That's been going on for millennia, and that's actually the reason we find ourselves in the position we find ourselves in today, because we've been engineered into this position. And in the same way we've been engineered into this position, we can be engineered out of our position. It's a choice. Brilliant stream, Matt. Thanks for being you, and you, Jake. Oh no, thanks ever so much, Justin. You're very gracious bloke, and I very much value you and your contribution. And it's great being able to call you a friend and having the chance to meet you. No, you're a great asset to the world, as is Jake. So thank you ever so much. Thank you ever so much for watching from the start. Coming up to the last 2 minutes. Hope everyone manages to get to sleep. Compassionate, understanding to help those report. The fear they are made to have of public reaction, truly explainable. Is yes, yeah, absolutely. We've all got fears. I've got fears. But funny enough, what's my personal experience over this last decade is that what you fear the most isn't actually that bad. And of course, the last fear I'm hanging on to is losing my home. But yet, funny enough, I don't feel safe in my home anyway, because this isn't my home. I have been regularly dragged out of my home by police. It's so perhaps it will do me good. Either way, it's Valentine's weekend, and I'm going to be up spending the weekend with my girlfriend, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And so have a wonderful Valentine weekend yourself, and I hope you all connect with those you love. YouTube obviously appreciate your contribution, Matt, offering you that updated AI tech to showcase your skills. I know, that's been 3 companies so far. 3 companies have approached me and offered me their platforms. There was one company who reached their max, so they offered it and then they took it away. I don't mind. But yeah, I'm loving it, and I'm loving you. And on that note, good night, sweet dreams. Let's do it again soon. Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Pip. And thanks, Justin. Good night. God bless.